Woo! So for those that missed it, you ain't missed nothing. I was doing what I always do, talking a lot, and almost forgot what time it was. Y'all know what time it is? Oh, no, ma. That's okay. I was trying to do the time, you know?
No. No.
I can't think of the singers. You know the singer, like, anywho, whatever.
The one that was with Prince?
The time. You know, he was singing.
Oh.
That's okay.
We.
Yes!
Okay.
I knew I was. That's okay. You trying to make me look like I was losing my marbles. I picked my marbles up. Wait a minute. I think I left a few over there. But it's okay. It's all right. I'm sitting up here with 4 beautiful queens up in here and him. No, thank you, Rashad. I so appreciate you coming. We got to get you interviewed. But anyway, I have 4 lovely ladies sitting in front of me. Please don't ask me who sings, who's the most prettiest of them all, because they all are. They're beautiful, and they're black, brown, and they're gorgeous. And yeah, we're going to introduce them from left to right?
Because I like to know who they are.
You?
Yeah.
Well, Dad, why don't you say something? Come in here talking all day. Man. Ladies, I appreciate y'all coming out here. Please do tell us, are you?
I am Desi Shelton, and I conceived the Real Housewives of Philadelphia, but it is a team of new writers who wrote it. Kelly Shell was one of the writers on there. Kenyon Wright was one of the writers on there, and it was my answer to the reality TV shows, and I guess my frustration. It's a satirical look at the reality TV shows.
Oh, those reality TV shows. Yeah, I must admit, I did used to watch them.
It's okay.
It's okay. Until they started like,
Yes.
No, because I need people to understand that not all black folks act like that.
Right. You really take it so much.
Not for a paycheck.
I watch them in secret.
Not for a paycheck. But anyway, yes. Because look at them. They're beautiful.
They are.
I can't imagine them sitting up here acting like, but then again.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait till June 9th. You'll
Because
see.
they are in that stage play, and I don't know, man. And you are?
Hi, I'm Zoe Woody. I am relatively new to the production. I'll be playing the part of Drew. I'm really excited, and yeah.
Oh, she's so excited. That's what I'm talking about. I need to hang with her.
Hi, my name is China Michelle. I'm not that new to the production. I'm new to my role, which is Serena in The Real Housewives of Philly.
Oh, wait a minute. Can I must it? I'm not gonna say nothing when you talk. But I got an aunt Serena and a cousin Serena.
My mom's name is Serena.
That's what I'm talking about. I know I like this. Oh, let me stop. 'Cause y'all can take me places. I know. They like, we can't take her nowhere.
I'll just jump in. My name is India Marie, and I'm a principal actress with the Camden Repertory Theater, and my character is Buddha in the production. So yeah.
And we all just came out of a production.
Yeah.
Most of us did. Just came out of a production called Hustle. What was that, Sunday?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hustle.
It was
Hustle
a
musical.
Yeah.
Oh,
And it was a workshop production
Okay.
that we did at the Seaport Museum, and right back at it. So, it's been written, and we workshopped this production before. So now we're ready to show Philly. Now
Yes.
we did it in secret in front of our friends and our families to get feedback on it, just to see what worked and what didn't work and what crossed and what did, and then now we're ready.
So Real Housewives is going to take off?
Oh,
It's already taken
yes,
off.
It already took off?
Yeah.
That's reality show now.
Yeah.
That I didn't get a chance to say.
Yeah.
So who's the bad person up in
She's
here?
not even here.
She's
Yeah,
not.
she is not even here. That's Fu. That's the character Fu.
Yeah.
Goodness
I
gracious.
ain't put my
Stirring
wig
everything
on.
up.
Yes, she is a hot mess, and one of the we deal with a bunch of different subjects, but one of the main 2 subjects that we address in the Real Housewives of Philly, we put a magnifying glass on is polygamy, modern day polygamy. We go right in there. We also
We dabble in just our obsession, society's obsession with social media, and just kind of filtering those.
and one of the characters has an autistic child, so we deal with that a little bit in the Real Housewives of Philly. Yes.
Yeah.
Any catty fights?
Oh,
Yes.
come on! You cannot have a reality television
It
show
can't be
Yes.
New York
without
and make
a
New
fight.
York look bad. Philly supposed to be the good guys.
Right,
The
and
city-
chill. That's a good point,
The
though.
city
That's
is
an
Bucks
excellent point.
We ain't supposed to be in here all that fighting.
That's a good point.
But we just use the fighting just to
I
suck,
know. Yeah.
just to suck the people who need the messages in.
yeah.
Because
Look at her.
we want
Yeah,
to suck
Lord,
them in. We
yeah,
want to lure them in and make them think that it's something that it's not. But
Now,
really,
you know
we drop.
darn well that's what she said. But you know, you cannot get 4 black women in a room and not have a fight.
True.
Please, it's gonna be a
True.
fight
Hair.
over something.
Oh, I know
True.
She didn't look, she
Yes,
didn't look like
she
my
has
man.
on my
What's wrong
same
with my man?
outfit,
Yeah.
right? What she say? What she say?
I'm saying, oh, you was talking about me?
Right. You better get your girl. You better get your girl.
Oh, you better.
We in West Philly too, so.
Look, I ain't even gonna lie. I'm going under the desk. I got some popcorn somewhere. I ain't even. No, yesterday was a good day. It really was. I had a business meeting. So after the business meeting, literally, we left in maybe 5 minutes. Phone lit, well, it already lit up. So my phone kept lighting up. It was like I didn't know who to get to first. Anyway, long story short, I had took a picture 4 hours earlier. I put it on Instagram. I never touched Facebook. So let me go find out what the heck is like. What's the problem? What happened was someone went and said I was in a fight. I had a black eye. I thought it was a guy. It was a girl. So I'm like, okay, long story
Oh,
short.
are we writing this? Because this is good. This is good information for the play. Go ahead. Don't stop.
No, I'm not gonna take up your time.
No.
But
Let
what
me put my recorder. Hold on. Put the recorder on.
Go ahead.
So they wanted to know, like, why was I walking around with a black eye? And I'm sitting up here like, well, I always have dark circles. I had this hat on. I'm like, well, maybe. I'm like, what? I said, was it me? It was. So the guy was on the phone with my baby's daddy. He was like, he said, girl, ain't nobody like you. Nobody's like you. So I'm like, no, seriously. So I'm like, okay, I finally figured out who the person was that called and left the message, but now I had to address everybody individually. Like, yo, I wasn't in the fight. Like, I thought it was a joke. I took the picture from off of Instagram because it tells you how long it was on. 4 hours. I sent it to him. I'm like, now that's one hell of recovery because that's 4 hours ago. So I literally had to do a Facebook Live to let people know I was not in the physical. Like I
Somebody
went.
was in the comments like, look at that.
Can we
makeup.
give him a snippet?
Yeah, I took the head off. I'm like, well, maybe it was the lighter. So I wanted people. I'm like, yo, I don't do that. Like, I'm not a fighter. Street fight, court fight. We gonna talk all day long.
Wow.
Because the statute of limitations
I
says
guess that's what you want to
$5,000.
say, that we deal with that.
Yeah, y'all
and-
cover all things.
Yeah,
but-
that whole thing with the social media, how quickly something
Yeah,
can
and
happen.
I
They're more
literally-
abreast in it than me
I was
because I'm
just
not a social
talking
media.
about gossiping earlier, and I don't
Like
like
that.
gossiping. And then
Mhm.
here
Posted.
comes, yep, that's it. But anyway, back to the matter at hand. We got these
Especially
four.
if it's juicy, like somebody with a black guy.
Yeah,
That
of
joint getting
course.
shared and reshared
Of course.
and retweeted.
Even if it has
So
no
fast.
validity.
Yeah,
Like,
and
it don't
was-
even have
was
to be
kinda
true.
sad, but I mean,
Don't be
literally,
in a business meeting like you was. By the time you put it, like, what the?
what the?
Right.
And because the person and I aren't Facebook friends, I couldn't share. But I'm like, I literally got to go through this to let you know that, like, because I'll be the first one to tell you, I got my butt whooped, y'all, because I'm on the way to putting that person in jail.
Right.
Of course. I wouldn't have, unless it was
Don't
somebody I didn't know,
Right.
Just don't go on Facebook Live. and-
Don't make me clutch
but
my
I did.
pearl.
I did one.
No, I'm saying, you know,
Oh,
don't
listen.
go on Facebook Live saying I got beat up. Now I'm about to go beat her up.
No, I,
You know what I'm saying?
no,
'Cause
I
that gonna get shared and reshared when you go to court. When you like to fight, they gonna be like, remember you said that?
No,
And
it
not only all of that, just to jump in, social media is kind of shaping how we raise our kids, what food we eat, if we work out, what shows we watch, how we dress, what religions we think are dope, or like it's just
Just for that light.
yeah. What can I post? I'm 26.
I'm going. come you couldn't come up with
Don't
stuff
do
like
that.
I mean,
He got a whole nonprofit. He done came up with way more than that.
But he don't sound intelligent. Like,
Don't do that to him. This is a young black king.
hey, y'all.
thank you.
Yes.
Painted color. Like, take that color off, boy. You know you ain't one of us. But no, let me ask you this. Like, what made y'all want to be a part of this? Like, this is, because I'm pretty sure y'all seen Atlanta House or Housewives of any type.
Yes.
Is it Orange County? Orange or something, New Jersey?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, I used to
one,
watch
too.
that one. It was like all white, and they be like, I'm like, okay, y'all just a little different, but y'all on the luscious side are different. But what made y'all, knowing this, the stigma that attached to, you know, black and the cattiness, want to just be a part of this play, even though it is a play?
I can talk, and then anybody can jump
Yeah.
in. It was really my frustration with the Kardashians dictating to black women who we are,
Yes.
and I couldn't understand it. I couldn't understand why were we chasing them? Why did we begin to get injections
Yes.
and things like that when we've had it the entire
Yes.
time? And so, because I'm an artist, that is my job to
Yes.
to speak to my community through art, through theater. That's what I do. I'm a playwright. So let's dialogue. Let's have this conversation. The struggle was satirizing something that is a form that is so satirical within itself already. So that's why I wanted to do the whole Real Housewives, and it's an episodic theater project. So it's episode 1 live on stage, and you'll see episode 2. You come back to see episode 2 a couple months later, episode 3, and it's an opportunity to
Gotcha.
hang out with your girls and talk, or hang out with whomever,
It's
so
a
they
great
can share.
conversation piece.
That I feel like this is what Camden Repertory Theater like was founded to do.
Keep going, yeah.
Yeah. So I just feel like I just feel like the play itself is going to, I guess, demystify and uncloud who black women really are. And it's going to say, hey, like, you guys have got it all wrong. And this is how we're doing it through the script, and we're doing it through, you know, the dialogue. And so for me, it's always a blessing to be used by God to represent our people in a positive light. So I'm always down for anything where we can, you know, change the dynamic and change the conversation and you know, represent us in a positive, like, look, this is, they have it all wrong. You know what I'm saying? They have it all wrong, and they've convinced us that this is who we are. And this is really who we are.
And I also just think it's beautiful to be like a cast of African American women. It's, you know, it's something that, you know, like as everybody said, it's so important to, you know, be able to display messages that aren't, you know, like maybe not necessarily comfortable sitting down having a conversation with somebody, doing it through music or doing it through a show. You know, I think oftentimes when people come to watch theater, they forget what kind of messages you can really take away from that. And I just like the fact that, you know, usually, you know, there aren't a lot of opportunities to get to work with a small group of people. But when you really get to dig in and dive and really figure out, okay, like, what message do we want to send? Like, you know, like, how do we want to do this? Why are we doing it? Like, what does it mean? Rather than just sitting down, opening a script, and now, you know, you're in a room with 20, you know, 30 people, and you don't really get to have that intimate relationship, you know, on the stage.
Today is Zoe's birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Zoe. Happy birthday.
Oh
to
my goodness.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Sing it with me now. That's what I'm talking about. Do I hear a CD coming out?
Happy birthday.
Oh, shucks. Now y'all heard it live.
Happy birthday.
It's her birthday. Not mine. Hey, boy, she does accept all cash. Nothing under $50.
Cash at her at.
I know, right? Yes.
I think just to add to that, I believe your original question was why we got into the production, or why we agreed specifically to be in the production. And Miss Desi is actually one of my mentors. So when she brought up the production, it was like, I just thought it was a great idea. So I think I jumped into production trusting that it was a great idea and then learning something about it. So for me, since I'm on the younger side of the cast, I had to find what was relatable for me. And I think that for me is social media. Like, even waking up in the morning, like, I find myself checking my phone or remembering to check my phone more than I do to, like, eat breakfast, which is weird. And, like, I won't have anything on my phone.
Pray.
Yes, even more. So, yes, terrible. Or I'll just pick it up and be like, I have no reason to be picking it up right now.
I had to start leaving mine downstairs just so the first thing when I woke up in the morning, it would be a praise or it would be a thank you, God, or it would be instead of.
That's a good point.
And I think Will's
regular alarm clock.
I was gonna say we're getting away from that.
Mine is my alarm clock.
Mine is that.
My alarm clock is internal.
If I'm doing the right thing, I'll wake up.
Yes.
Yeah, but sometimes you gotta wake up a little earlier.
No, even if I have to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning because we're traveling or something like that,
Me too.
I find that I really do. I hate to get all Perry-ish on you.
Oh yeah.
He really is my
Girl,
alarm
you don't
clock.
knock that thing out.
Yeah, he
Jesus
really
is-
is.
oh
Yes.
my God.
Hallelujah.
He really is.
Man.
Right. You ain't asked him. Maybe I asked him when I was in high school.
Yeah, no.
Because I never wanted to miss the party, so
God
I ain't
gave
want to
my
miss
mom
whatever
in
that
high school
happening.
for the-
No, for real.
Yes, if it was
Mom,
high
I'm taking
school,
that.
I ain't want to
Wake
miss
me up
that
at
party. Yes, yes.
And I feel like I even had that too. Like I would wake up, not to change the topic of the conversation, but I really will. Like, if I know I have to be up at 6, I really will be up at 6, and then my alarms will go off at 7 or 7:30 or whenever I would normally get up. I think if you pray too, though, it can, like, God, please wake me up at 6 o'clock.
Try it, test it
I
there.
trust them, so I
Test
believe
it.
the word.
Okay.
When the sun come up, I'm up.
Yeah.
But the sun come up at different times every day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so sometimes I need to get up before the sun come up.
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't gotta get up till after the sun come up. So I'm gonna have my phone, but I'm asking. Sometimes he don't listen to me.
He listens. You just
He
not
like,
hearing.
He like Rashawn, I ain't answering that prayer. Not
Yeah,
today.
not
Yeah, I
that
feel
one.
you.
So let me ask you this, ladies. What happens after this Housewives of Philly? You touching on California, Jersey?
They asked us to bring it to DC for the DC Black Theater Festival, but DC has their own parody of, I think it's the Housewives of Southeast DC, and it's not theater,
mouthful.
it's a
Right.
YouTube or something series or something like that, one of the social media series,
So what
and
is
it's
the
hilarious.
what is your what is your goal for this right here, this moment right here for how many ladies are there?
5.
5 for your 5 and you. Like, what is your final goal for this? Because I'm looking at you. You got stage play. Am I seeing TV, Netflix?
I would love to do. I really would love to do it like a YouTube series
too. I
or
was
something
just
like that. This
thinking
social media or be the platform, not necessarily me being in it or anything like that, because I don't have those Hollywood dreams or anything like that anymore. I am real close to 50. So and I say that's a young girl's game.
But is Hollywood really that bad?
No judgment for anybody who has there. It's not mine. Mine to really is always, I do theater to have the dialogue with my community. And if doing same thing like you were talking about, it happened to you, if it catapults me to have a dialogue and a conversation with the national community of African American women, because that's really my main focus. Let's talk about the things that we have been silenced on in our community, nor does anyone care. You know, when you look at, that's one of the reasons I went back to graduate school for theater, because no one cared about what was happening in the urban communities. And all of our playwrights, they were black males, you know, like Tyler Perry's a black male. And I love what he has done for black people in theater and film and all of that. but I didn't want anybody else telling our story. I didn't want anybody telling our story from the outside looking in. I wanted to tell our story from our social economic level, from the inside out. So, and hopefully I'm answering your question, but really that has been that's the driving force of why I do plays. I Killed My Baby's Daddy, Blake for Sale, all of that. Yeah, not at all. And Housewives, exactly.
And I think it's really catastrophic that these really are the only role models that young, like if you think about it, this is all they're seeing. This is all that's in front of them.
Right.
Women with butt injections and breasts and weaves and all of these things, and there's no shade to that, but all we're saying is that I feel like Camden Housewives of Philly is asking, is this really who we are, or is this really all right? Philly house, sorry. Is this really all we are? And I feel like
and it's for everybody. That's what it is. It is. We're asking women from all urban areas, from urban areas like Camden, urban areas like Philadelphia, urban areas like Chester, urban areas like Wilmington. Really, it is universal. You can switch out the city. As a matter of fact, one of the lines in the play is just change the zip code. What's the line?
To your urban area.
To an urban area. And that's one of the lines, meaning no matter what urban area you go to, it's still, we are dealing with the same issues. And I have a daughter, and she was thinking about getting injections, and my daughter's drop dead gorgeous. And I'm like, what are you doing? But that is going back to what you said, all that she sees.
Society says, no disrespect, but men say that indirectly. You know, you watching the games, you watching TV, you watching the girls on TV, and you be like, damn, look at her. But here's the thing. This is what y'all do. You'll get the small girl, but you be looking at the big girl, and you be like, dang, you see. So when you're talking, we're listening. We're hearing, I'm small with these small boobs, but you're all up this girl with the big boobs. So what do you think? My thought is you really like that girl even though you're with me. So to please you, not me, let me get these injections. You know, let me get this long hair because I don't want the natural because you like the girls. Oh, you like the. So I'm going to alter everything because I hear what you're saying. Indirectly, you're not telling me, but this is what y'all say. And then when we do this, the first thing, well, you look beautiful like that, but that's not what you're projecting. You know, when you see the girl walk by, you're like, oh, I can't whistle, but you know, you're whistling, you're making a catty noise, but then when I walk by, you know, you're saying you like the natural, but you're saying the opposite.
I actually think it's even deeper than that now.
Me
in 2019. I mean, you guys touched on it before. Social media is the self-talk. It's not even us anymore. I mean, it started with us, which is why these things are happening. But now you have social media, and we're scrolling. The first thing we see when we wake up is people that look better than us, people that have better lives than us. But that's just what they're portraying. That's what they're portraying on social media. We don't know what's happening in the background. So I think it really is deeper than just what we're saying these days. I think it's really what we're allowing ourselves to take in, what we're allowing ourselves to see, and what we're saying to ourselves. Because even as men now with social media, we're looking and we're like, you know, look at this guy and that guy. Or why he getting all these likes? And I'm getting all these likes. I thought that was a good picture.
No, and I was.
Oh my goodness, go ahead.
I was reading an article, and it was talking about since the incline, excuse me, of social media, there's been an incline of depression. And it's because social media is teaching you how to compare and contrast and to see what you don't have. And to put whatever you believe. Yes. I could go take a picture at a dealership in front of a car that I don't have,
like my new baby.
And now you think I got
You have
and they
that.
like, congratulations.
When they brought to the script about people being addicted to likes, I really didn't believe them. Like so many likes and people being depressed. I'm like, they making this up. Nobody care about somebody.
It's true.
It's true.
Yeah,
it's true. Even in myself, maybe not to that degree, but if I'm honest, it's true within me. Like if I feel like I'm not validated if a whole bunch of people don't like the picture. It's like I start asking like, should I have posted that? Should I like and was that right? Should I have
Should 9 instead of 10? I don't know.
Instagram, you can ask Instagram to time when your followers are on the most, so you can plan when to post your picture.
Yeah, that's marketing.
Yes, but that's
it's looking at it as
marketing, right?
As this is when people can see my best me.
Yes,
right.
And when they can validate it, and when my likes can prove that I'm this person that I may or may not be.
So maybe I just need to post a picture of my little dirty screen door and see what happens. I need to do a new trend.
The one Jenner with the egg, right? Oh, she had all those likes.
Oh yeah, the egg one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they got like 1 million. Like
I'm gonna say,
of an egg.
And act like I know what y'all talking about, just so I can be in and maybe y'all give me a like. Oh, okay.
The young millennials just went over.
That was Kylie Jenner, and now they're trying to take. Actually, they're trying to take the likes off of Instagram. Like they're just saying, like you be scrolling, you just see pictures with no likes,
And,
there's like memes and stuff, and people are like, oh no, like
can I buy likes?
You can.
You can buy
but
them.
it's
There's an
obvious.
app
Like,
you can download.
You can tell those
Oh
people.
no,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
You go look at it, probably like.
And
Yeah,
the comments don't like this.
my
Yeah, they don't go
Yeah,
together.
no.
I'm gonna buy my likes.
You can.
It's not the same.
It's not the same.
It's not
It's not the
the
same
same. I'm
to you,
starting my
but it's
new
not the
trend.
same to me.
Yes,
Me too.
the real people you know.
The first time y'all reached 100 likes on
Yeah, that was a big deal. But now 100 likes is a joke.
It is a joke. It's like
what?
makes me sad a little bit.
Right.
With my company, we have a group called the Trumpet Chicks, and it's an all-girl jazz band group, and they got up to 2 million views. And I only care about 2 million views is because I wanted to send it to my funders to say, yes, my 2 million views to my funders. But other than that, I'm sitting there ripping them apart. Like, look at this. Your hair is out of
But that's how it started, because now these companies, because we aren't watching TV anymore, because we spend most of our time on social media, that's where the advertisements are.
Right.
So people like Rosa Costa and all those internet models that inject themselves are getting these promotions. So now that's another reason why, because they're seeing it as quick money. Oh, all I gotta do is get 10,000 followers and boom, that's $1,000 a day. Like that's how.
Is that how much we made?
You could.
I'm not too far off those numbers.
Oh, it's sponsors,
Yeah.
You gotta be big in this.
Yeah, you gotta be big.
Sponsors, first thing they want to know is how many viewers do you have? When you hit a certain amount, it's like
you can make a job. You can make a job out of just doing hair.
my job right here.
Because all of the hair people are gonna like, yo, can you review this product? Can you review this product? They'll pay you, send you free stuff, send you free products, and then pay you to review it.
And you can set your page up as a business account.
And what I noticed is they're starting to slip in little sponsored ads. So now I don't even control what I'm exposed to. They can just
they do that based on what you pick or
right,
which freaks me out because
allegedly
somebody's always watching.
Right.
So they've been doing that, like those little shoppers cart and swipes and all of that.
So I go through now and I go through my social media and I click at the high, and when they ask you why, I say irrelevant. So hopefully I can eliminate. I'm never going to totally eliminate the ads, but hopefully I can eliminate a lot of them because they're feeding off of how many things you like. So if you keep liking the grocery stores, they're going to keep popping up.
The ads that come out is all ads, and I'd be like, oh snap! Like,
yep.
I'm
The thing that scares me,
every
if you
acting
walk
class.
into a store, then the next thing you know, it shows up on your page. That is scary.
Yes.
Oh, you get your location?
Yes.
I'm like
I'm too blind. Why are you telling me?
How come when I walk in the bank don't hit me up with, hey, we're gonna give you $500?
That's a good point.
I know.
I said you was in the bank. You going $800?
Right.
I'll be in the bank all day long. don't like swivel.
Right.
I think that's good that you guys are covering the semblance of that with what you guys do, because that's a big deal in 2019. It's a huge deal, and like you said, we all have a semblance of that. Maybe not to
that degree,
level or degree, but we can't help it.
Yes.
You know, and then now the iPhone tells us how much time we spend.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
See,
How long we
that?
sleep.
How long you been on Instagram?
The social media is always the highest point. Now, for me, with my for-profit and non-profit, that's the excuse I'm using, right? That's the reason why it's so high, because I'm always on there marketing, right? But the thing of the matter is, imagine if we really recorded how much time we spend scrolling. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm on it for hours
Yeah,
because I'm always like, I'm posting, like I got that right there. I'm advertising for Saturday. We have our comedy show, so I'm posting for that. Then I post for like I said, like when I was at the show, so I'm sharing that one. Then I'm posting who may be coming on the show. Then I'm posting who's coming on the show.
The likes and the
then I'm hitting all the likes. Then I
and
gotta do my stuff. So yeah. So then I'm like, yeah, okay, like. I don't even read half these people's stuff. I just hit the like button, like next.
You better than me.
And I was watching a couple of the.
I'm sorry, I read everybody's messages.
I was watching a couple of the real shows, the Real Housewives of Atlanta, on my own time, and what I noticed is they're not raising their kids.
No.
Like they all have kids, and their kids are like not even like you might see them run past for like 2 minutes, or you might see them have one conversation, but you never really see them doing anything with their kids. And I feel like even that is like where women aren't being women. You know what I'm saying? We're not doing. We're not living.
Scripted as well, because there's no
Yeah.
not spending all that
time with their kids, and it's like we want to drill.
Y'all best friends for 3 months when filming is happening,
right?
Because you say, "Oh, I haven't heard."
And nobody's from that city.
Right.
No.
Nobody's ever from that city.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And everyone, like you were saying yesterday, everyone's launching something. There's a party every other day. Like nobody lives like that.
No.
That's not realistic. There is not a party every.
But that's what's put in our heads.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the life you live.
Yes.
And you see the same thing. So
Yes.
if that's all that's around you, then
Yep.
what are you going to think is happening? You're
Yep.
like, well, my life just
Sucks.
Right.
Right.
You know?
Because let me ask you this question, ladies, and the other cast members that are not here. How much of your character is you?
Good question.
I see myself in
All of
every last one of them. It's a teeny bit of me in every last character. But the character Autumn, I can identify with her, because she's to save the community, save the world.
That's my girl.
That's
me.
Yeah, that's
You can't say
Autumn.
mama. You
Right.
can't,
So,
you try.
It would probably be Autumn.
Mine, I'm cast as Buddha, and I definitely think she's my alter ego, but I have so many of them. But she's definitely one of them. Like, she just is kind of she's unapologetic about what she's going to do and how she's going to live. And I relate to Serena, just kind of turning red flags pink with men and not accepting men for who they are and who they're showing me they are. And I kind of like, oh, he has potential and I see this in him, but he does this, and just kind of rationalizing abuse when it's not okay. So
Yeah, abuse is not okay. Have y'all touched on suicide?
no.
Mental illness?
Yes.
I
guess
think we subconsciously touched on mental
Yeah,
illness, like by
yeah.
accident.
It seems to be
Huge right now. That's
huge
a
right
good point.
now. Yeah. It's
Maybe you want to come on as a writer on one of the episodes. You can
Since
be the
you-
guest writer on one of the episodes.
Thank you so much for asking. Next question.
But I think you made a good point, though, when you were talking about us men and accepting for potential and not for who they actually are. I think that's so important with our African American women, is we so accept on potential, and then we say, oh, we can help them get there, or they're going to get there. And we continue to make excuses for our African American men, when we need to stop making excuses for them and we need to force them to get where they need to go. And I just think that's such an important thing. So it's good that you talked about that.
But that's in us as women, and we try to ignore that. It is our jobs to see the good. Like, just think about it, right? It's your job to see the good in your child and nurture that. It is your job. You can't even turn that off. So it's not shocking that when it comes to a man that you are going to try to see the potential. That is why how you meet and how you hook up and who introduces you, and is he the parking lot guy that you found on your own, or was it a friend that said, you know what, I know somebody that I think you should meet, that you would be compatible with, somebody that really knows you, or did your father bring somebody home? We don't like that traditional way, but it's something to that. Like, I think we need to go back to some of the traditions, and your parents say, I like you to meet such and such, and let's look at some of those ideologies that we wanted to do away with. But I'm a traditionalist in so many ways. So if you go ahead out and meet this guy yourself on your own, who's reinventing himself, yes, you're going to try to see the good in him, because that is who we are as women. To see, that's what we're supposed to do, see the good and nurture that.
Yeah, it's just
two things. I don't mean to cut you off.
And
two things. I'm looking at, if you, not no disrespect, paid attention, I have three. Their colors vary. Of course, she's the obvious of the lightest. So have you ever touched on colorism?
Not in episode one. Not in episode one.
I grew up not knowing that what colorism was, but I grew up knowing that we did it, just didn't know what it was. So it's, and it's interesting how when I was growing up, we had the afros with the pics, with the fists, and everything was say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud, but yet colorism divided us. She's light. We don't like dark skin, don't like light skin. Light skin think dark skin is better than all of that. We got
light
good
skin
hair
versus dark skin.
Yeah, we got we got the good hair versus the bad hair. Actually, there is no bad hair, but we got, and with everything that else is going on in the world, with all this division, we got division amongst us, and it's called colorism. Like, growing up, I never had an issue with it. I was never teased about my color, but I never teased anybody, but I heard. So I never, to this day, had girlfriends. I stay to myself. But I've never grew up around girls that I was friends with that didn't like somebody just because of their color.
I had that.
Yeah, and it's interesting when it was brought to me. So I just want to know, have y'all ever touched on that, or will y'all ever touch on that?
We can examine that in future episodes. I remember being little and calling, because my sister is dark, and that's the first thing that I would say, you black so-and-so. And out of my mouth, and not even realizing how much hurt I was inflicting, or how it could affect her self-esteem. We're just so taught to do mean things. Even our games are so mean. I don't even let kids do mean games around me. No play fighting. For what? All of our games can be so vicious.
I never let my children play with guns.
Competitiveness. Come on.
Boys, maybe, but girls, no.
But we do touch on that, right?
Go ahead.
I want to give away the
Don't give away.
juice.
You want them to come.
But we do touch on that with bleach.
We sure do. I forgot. Yes. Buddha.
Yeah.
Yes, Buddha does. Oh, you're right.
And Sonia, one thing I can say, I think everybody here, when you talk about colorism, and you said how you wasn't teasing, I'm looking at the skin complexion of all of us. None of these skin complexions would be skin complexions that would be teased on.
Right.
Well, growing up,
island, light skin.
Yeah, light skin.
There's no dark skin in this room.
Well, she would be considered more of the darker.
But even
she wasn't.
She's still on the lighter side.
And the one who plays Fu, she's darker than
all of us.
Yeah. So the darker one, but
and she's thick, so we deal. Yeah.
And then that's another one. Of course, size was always But it's interesting because I touch on a lot on social media, things that I don't like. And I leave it open, and it's up to those that like it or don't like it. One of the things I don't like is colorism. It took me a very long time to get used to that word slavery, because I'm like, yo, what does slavery have to do with now? That was so long ago. But it never left us mentally. So because it never left us mentally, everything that applied then still applied now, because grandma did what grandma did, what grandma did, what grandma did, what master did. Grab the switch and beat. Moving forward, we grab the switch, we beat. Like, we never broke a cycle. So during that time, there was division amongst in-house to outhouse. You know, master told me I had to cook. Like, I didn't want that option. I wanted to be out here picking cotton. Those out picking cotton thought that, hey, because you were inside, you were better than me. That's not how I went. I didn't choose this.
Because the sun is hitting more of the cotton.
Right.
The cotton
Right.
got
darker, right. So that 2019 moving forward, we still have that mentality, and we touched on it on one of my shows that, you know, I'm a female. Quite naturally, I get invited to an event, what I'm going to do? Go get my hair done, go get my nails done. I'm going to buy an outfit just like you do. But why is it when I walk into the place, the first thing you say is, oh, she thinks she all that. Why can't you walk up to me and say, I like your hair. Oh, your outfit looks so nice.
But I think that comes from society, too. Women are taught to compete. We're taught to compete. We're taught to compete with each other. We're taught to judge. And I feel like it's really, I don't know, like, I guess it could sound feminist a little bit. But I believe that we're taught to compete for the man, for them to be chosen or to be accepted or to be wanted. It all boils down to that. And I think it stems out of colorism, but I also think it stems out of just a higher, I guess, force that just wants all women, not just black women, to just compete with each other for whatever little piece of the pie we can get.
I don't think women dress for women. I mean, I don't think women dress for men. I think women dress for women.
Me too.
Go ahead. I want to dominate. What do you say, Zoe?
I actually had a different outtake from what you were saying, just because I personally been through it. But for me personally, if I'm done up, as you said, and I walk into a room, I more so would get, why are you trying to act white? And to me, it blew, and it would blow my mind, because, you know, on one side of the spectrum, I get, okay, why are you trying to, you know, from my friends that are African American, you know, why are you trying to act white? But then I have the white people looking at me like, well, you're darker than me, so don't, you know. And I went to Catholic school. You know, so I had, you know, people spitting in my food, calling me names all the time, like nothing was ever done. You know, when I was 7, I went to Ohio, went to go order ice cream, and it was like I wasn't even standing there. She took the white lady right behind me, you know. So I've had it on both spectrums. Okay, why are you trying to be this? Why are you trying to be that? Well, I'm not trying to be anything. Just because I decide to look nice for myself doesn't mean I'm trying to be white or I'm trying to be black. I don't know why there always has to be a color. Or, oh, why are you talking like you're so sophisticated? Like,
yeah, I grew
why?
up with that
Because
way.
I'm African American, I can't
That is the most
speak.
frustrating thing.
Yes, it is.
We're talking white,
I've
like
gotten
proper English.
Yes,
way
it
too many
is.
times in my life.
Yes.
Is that you are a great young man, you have potential because you are articulate.
Right.
And I'm being told that by African American and by Caucasian. And when I look, I do not take that as a compliment.
Right.
Just because I was raised properly and I have an education,
Right.
I get a compliment. No, it's how I'm supposed to be raised. It's how everybody that looks like me is supposed to be raised.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense that you're complimenting me on the way I speak.
But
I don't
when
think
you
that's
think about
okay.
it, it's a total circle. Look at the images that are plagued. Like, look at the images that our community is plagued by. That's what they have, the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So when they meet somebody like you or they meet somebody like Zoe, it's like, whoa, you're not black. There's no way you're black. There's no way you're associated with these people. Right.
Or you're too
So,
corporate for me.
Right.
yeah, so it's and that's why we have to attack this, and that's why we have to say we have to disembody this image that they want to make us all believe that we are. And it's the same thing. It's like, I don't fit here because you believe that I'm something that I'm not.
Yeah.
When really, all I know is people like me. I don't have any friends like people like I don't know anybody that is like the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I don't know anyone like that. I don't have any friends that have gotten butt injections. I don't have friends that wear weaves down to their feet. All I have is articulate friends who are artists and who, that's all I know. So
no, that's not cute.
Because y'all touched on it, and I'm gonna go back to it. White Hollywood. There used to be a time when my former co-host Mike, we will always try to figure out what we're going to talk about before we got here. Before our guests got here, because we would do our little segment before we got here, and we touched on a lot of things. And White Hollywood has this perception that Real Housewives of Atlanta and those like it are us.
Right.
Like we literally are them. Like we literally act.
They're
like
our
this
representatives
every day.
Yep.
Yes. So when they make the movies, we will always try to figure out why are these movies depicting us as we're gangsters and we're thugs and we're hoodlums and we're drug addicts and we're prostitutes. Because we get those shows like Real Housewives of Atlanta.
And we all of our females started in the strip clubs.
Yes.
They just,
and we wear, like you said, we wear the weaves.
But men, I don't at the same time because now everybody.
It fits into their narrative.
Yeah, and this is how we are.
Exactly.
So every time there's a movie out, it's hard to get them to understand. We're not them. Yeah. I'm looking at 4 of them right here. That's not us.
Right.
But we played those roles so much because we want to get our name out there. We need that check. So pretty much I'll sell my soul. And then I get on shows like Real Housewives, Love, whatever, because I don't want to keep throwing shade at Atlanta, but Real Housewives of, or any reality, quote unquote, show. And it says, us black folks, that's all we know how to do is rip each other apart. Where there's no division. I mean, there's straight division. There's no unity. So how do y'all get that?
And there are some.
Let me ask a question. What's the difference between what Hattie McDaniel said when she had to play a maid and they didn't want her playing a maid? They harassed her for playing a maid, her people, saying those are all the roles we get maids, and she said, I'd rather play a maid than be a maid. What's the difference between what she's doing and what they did? Like it is paying the bills. It is affording you
because she was breaking barriers.
Yeah.
We have
in the door.
She was breaking barriers. She was giving black people a chance to even get in the room and get in the space and get in front of a camera or get on the stage. You know what I'm saying? Like we have Ava DuVernay, we have Taraji P, we have Gab Union, we have a bunch of black women who play a long list of different characters, and so we don't have to do that anymore. We can choose. I want to be this character.
But doesn't she get paid to do the same exact thing in Empire? I haven't watched it.
I haven't watched.
Taraji did.
I'm sure.
She didn't.
Taraji is cookie.
But with her, she played other roles besides Empire.
Yeah.
So when you branch out, it makes Hollywood makes me say to Hollywood, okay, I didn't just play this role because Jim Carrey. All he does is the comedy.
Right.
So if you ever see him say, "I want to play a serious role," it's like, "Are you serious?"
That's what
you've never done one, so I'm not gonna.
He's typecast. But
Taraji done a whole. So
she has.
Let's go to Empire though, because I am an Empire watcher, and I don't, so because I watch it, I don't know what people are getting from the previews and the promotions. But if you watch, she is a strong mother, a powerful black woman who runs a company and controls her husband. That's what she is portraying in Empire. I don't see anything really wrong with the fact that she is all about her sons and her family.
But she controls her husband. That is out of order. We can have a fight up in here.
I thought it was
wrong choice.
Okay, all right.
They work together.
Okay.
But she has the last word.
I get what you're saying, that she's not one of those weak black ladies.
But people think that she's playing this ghetto woman in Empire, and that is
she's not playing a ghetto role.
That is not what she plays.
Okay.
She's strong black or she's
She
ghetto.
doesn't fight at all. She actually, especially in the last 2 seasons, is consistently saying to Lucius, we have to get out of our old ways. We have to stop doing things the old way like we were back in Philly. We need to do things the right way.
What's Philly stuff?
This is what she's saying in Empire. So she's not this ghetto, portraying this ghetto black. She's portraying a strong black woman who's made it and using her platform to do better for women.
And from my understanding, it started out supporting her husband. That's how they built the empire, which is my goal. I'm like, look, I'm tired of all that. I just want to support his goals and his dreams, whoever that he is.
But yeah, I apologize for using the word controls because, listen, my girlfriend controls me.
Do, yeah.
That's the word I like to use.
And why didn't you marry her yet? You didn't marry. Why didn't you marry yet? Why do you have yet another black woman out here saying she got a boyfriend instead of a husband when we 105 years old?
When she's ready.
Who's ever ready? Now this is getting ready to be a Real Housewives of Philly argument. What? What do you mean?
No,
we're gonna go there.
Listen, I'm lucky that my girlfriend is actually going off to law school. So as she goes off to law school and figures out where she wants to practice and where she wants to build her career, then at that point, once everything's kind of settled
What
in.
is my girl's name? The Supreme Court, Ruth. Did you see about Ruth Bader Ginsburg? Do you know Ruth Bader Ginsburg? They were married in law school.
I think Obama and Michelle got married in law school, right?
I don't know if they got married in law school. I don't know, but I know they did. Like
I don't think they.
it helps
President
you focus
Obama.
more,
Yeah.
right? It helps you focus more, and it keeps you. You can exhale when you know you got a husband. You study even harder. Why do we always use education as a reason to postpone
The natural life.
Yes,
The
us
natural
unifying
It's not
as and helping
education,
our
it's-
community.
Well, both of us are, I'm growing in my career, she's growing in her career. We don't know where we want to settle in. So, to start, when you marry somebody, even though that's my girlfriend, once you put that ring on it, you're committing to starting a family.
No, but that's the point. That's what we deal with.
But-
You
but
already
listen.
married. But maybe that's me, because if you kiss me, we go together. We do anything else, we married. I can't play the boyfriend-girlfriend games.
If you don't know where you want to nest, and I don't know where I want to nest,
She
and
wants
at some point,
she wants to
when we
nest
talk about that,
with you.
that may be
We do the
different
other
places in the
things to
world.
disguise it. We do that because you don't make us sure. But the minute if you were like, okay, because we all want to be that missing rib. We all want you to say, okay, here, you are my missing rib.
Paying attention.
Right?
I'm listening.
And it feels like click. And once we get that click back that we found the rib in which we were missing from, we want to line up with him. We don't want
Can
all
my
that.
rib return to me, please? And I ain't talking about barbecue sauce on it.
Somebody
Yes.
go find some of your rib.
Yes, no, we do all of that because that's what we feel we have to. Because we're afraid to say, look, I'm feeling you, I'm loving you. I do want to be an attorney, but I also want to be an attorney by your side. So
As your
wherever
wife.
I don't
Let
want to
me
be an
say,
attorney.
If she gave me any inkling, and
We're waiting for you. We don't know how to pull down our barriers. We don't know how to be that transparent and vulnerable because we're scared to be vulnerable. If we're vulnerable like that, then we're afraid that we're going to get hurt. Any man say, look, this is what it is. I'm ready to get married. We'd be like, oh, okay.
And the thing I like about it is what she's saying is that nothing else is working.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you.
And that's on God.
Yes,
like, and
yes.
I
Yes.
look at it like, who's getting married? Like, in us millennials, who's getting married? Who's settling down and having a family? None of us. We're literally ripping and running and having babies
exactly
with
what-
total strangers.
That's exactly
Having
what
babies
it
with
is.
total
except for
strangers.
having babies with total strangers.
No, literally, you don't. But I'm speaking,
Yeah, no,
and
I
I'm
get what you're
speaking
saying.
as the voice of the millennials.
We are.
Like you have a friend who has a baby with a woman, with a girl he barely knows.
Multiple.
Even if they've been together 2-3 years, are we meshing
to know that
right?
person. Yeah.
We don't even know. We're not even
agree.
getting to
And
know
we
each
wonder
other
why
anymore.
we not
Which is why
anchoring
it's
our
okay to
community.
Yeah.
It's not. We have to anchor our
Serious.
community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And the
let me
white people are doing it. Them Kylie and Coley and Jenners, even though they're cutting up and running amok, they're settling down and getting married.
Is that a marriage?
And whatever.
It is.
Whatever
but at
it
least you know
is.
that he will marry. He will commit
Right.
to me.
Only one of
Who's
them.
telling the black
Right.
It's
woman?
really working for, okay?
But the other girl, but the
Black
other
woman.
sister, right?
Yeah,
That
who's telling the
too.
black woman woman, yeah, I'll marry you.
Right.
No, nobody. No, you are worth being married. Y'all keep telling us we're not worth being married. We're not worth being a wife. Not me, because I can't play them reindeer games, right? But no, who says? You tell me I'm worth you sleeping with me.
Yeah.
I'm worth you running up in me for years.
No,
I'm worth you.
And y'all want to put it on us?
What I'm telling you is you're worth the dream wedding that you dream for. You're worth the house and dream house that you want to live in. You're worth the life that you want. And if I can't supply that for you yet,
first of all, it's not even. Should be her parents should be supplying that dream weddings. Go back, not you, but go
that's
ahead.
the traditional.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
for
traditional
me,
is supposed to be a lady.
For me, I understand that, and I would be okay with the father offering up his opportunity, but I think it's my job and it's on me to supply everything that my fiance.
But we're getting away when we get into that. You're worrying about the fluff and the ruffle, not the bodice.
The marriage.
Yes, like
so
and that means it's
on the wedding and not the marriage.
Yeah, it's anchored in something wrong. You understand? Like even if you go back to, and I don't know what your faith is, right? But if you go back to any of good. So now we can talk, right? You go back to any of those faiths, right? It was about two families coming together. Yeah. The minute we start making it about a wedding or something else, then that's when we lose the foundation of who we are, and we wonder why these marriages can't be successful. No, it is not about a wedding. If I commit to you and we say that we're going to do it, I guarantee the things will line up, the blessings will line up for you too. That's what I love about the Islam, that they believe in getting married. Like, I don't know what happened to us as Christians, but Islam, they believe in getting married. And don't quote me on this because I don't like to say things, but I hear they say that's like half your deen, right? You get with your wife and you build, right? And that's half your way of making it and living holy and getting it together. Somewhere, Sister Soldier does it beautifully in that Midnight series. And she does it through the character of Midnight in her book. And talk about how, I don't know, how we got to this place. And it's not okay. Yeah. It's not okay.
But I think you speak to it because I'm a financial advisor. As a financial advisor, my specialty is actually millennials with parents. So one of the things that, like what you said, that I've learned in my research is we are more concerned with our careers and building our careers before family. And, to what you're saying, maybe that's part of what both of us are following because, I hear
and it's not saying. Working. It's like
I hear what you're saying. If I say, "Hey, babe, let's get married today," she'll probably say, "Okay." But the thing is, we both are on the same page about, just like the millennial mindset, building that career before we build the family. And that's just kind of how, I don't know where it started, but
spiritually, you get your blessings. You can't get that's the thing that I want. Like, all right. So now we going on. You said you're Christian, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now it's a sin to even. I want to keep it clean and PG, but it's a sin to spill your seed, right? To spill your seed and to dump it on the ground. God allowed in the book of Ruth, right? Yeah, in the book of Ruth, right? When a guy, her brother-in-law, took his seed out and spilled it on the ground, that man was struck dead. And I challenge brothers, how many of your dreams are being struck dead because you're spilling your seed in a condom? How many of your dreams are being struck dead? What else is being killed and dead because you are not following what the word of God says? Because you're not that is your job to procreate, right? Not put your career first, not do any of that, right? He gave you a purpose, right? When you look at Adam, the first thing he did was he gave Adam a job. He gave Adam the responsibility of naming things. That's why women, be careful of the men that you hook up with that speak things over your life. Because that is his job, to speak and to call things over your life. So if he's telling you dumb and you stupid, you will begin to become dumb and stupid. Because that is his job as a man, right? And then the next thing he did was gave him a wife. So all of these things that, like, if we just talking to the believers, going back to your roots, going back to the foundation, and go and line up with that. And then if you say that the word of God tells you to worry more about the marriage, more about the wedding and the house that you want than the marriage, then go on and do what thus said he told you to do. But according to the belief system, That is not it at all. And so
marriage.
many of our dreams are being killed, these black men. Like, how further along would you be had we not spilled our seed? Not saying you did, ain't been in your bedroom or anything like that, right? If you had leave and cleave, even think about Abraham. He didn't even get all of his millions until he hooked up, until he had to leave his father's house. He was married and he went and did what he did. And we are leaving, that is the foundation of it all. We're leaving that part behind. It's no reason. It's a reason why you can't even be. You have to be married, right, before you can be president, right? You can't. It's those.
You don't have to. You don't have to be married. But the thing is, for instance, Booker's going to have a hard time getting elected because he does not have
a wife.
Spouse.
Yeah.
Right. And the thing is, there's too much temptation just as it is. But so no, you don't have to be married.
Right.
That's a perception because no one is going to elect
nobody
a single
trusts
man.
you.
Nobody
Right.
trusts you.
Nobody, and it's the same
It's like,
thing.
okay, so
you
what
can
is he
see
doing
it on
in
that
that
level.
Right.
You know
You
what
can
I'm
see
saying?
it on that level.
Yeah.
It's even when you do business, why people say, why some business deals, you have to bring your wife or something there.
And it is important, especially, you know, in certain instances when you go to galas and things of that nature, to have that person, that spouse by your side, because if you don't, if you come alone, you're right. There is like, whoa, there's kind of a standoff.
And this is me. A man never even reaches his full potential until he gets
he
a
has
wife.
that strong woman next to him.
Until he has a wife.
She's
Because
like,
she,
no, wife.
right, because she anchors him.
I think this is going to be written into
like,
the
no,
screenplay.
She puts him to
Somebody gonna
rest.
get
He
married.
can breathe. He can breathe and he can think and he can. His mind is clear to go ahead out because he knows he has that. But you got your apartment. I got my apartment.
And I think what's happening too is because we're not doing that, where the point of life, the beauty of life, is being tainted. Like having a child is weighted in our community. Yeah. It's like, dang, you another person. You having it's not something.
Get the tax breaks you used to get.
Yeah, it's not something that you're proud of though. It's celebrated.
Yes.
Like when you get pregnant in the black community, you're almost looked at. Oh, she's done. Her life's over.
Oh yeah.
When really your life
like
is just
chick that is a baby.
Right.
Please, can somebody say, "Oh, this is my husband and my baby"? Can
Right.
we celebrate?
Right.
Oh, it's abundant husband.
Right.
Yay!
Right.
Not, I got something to tell you.
Yup. And it's this depressed thing, and really your life is being inside of you. A life is coming. Excuse me. You're doing the point. You may not be doing it in the right order or in the right way, but the point of life is to recreate, to procreate. And because of all of the foolishness before that, all of the not getting with the right person and it not happening the way it's supposed to happen, whatever your beliefs are, the actual point of life is being like just skipped over and stepped on, and you feel bad about it. Like most of my girlfriends, or not most of them, but some of them, like being pregnant was not the best, happiest time of their lives. It was the worst time of their life.
And that's a shame because that should be one of the most.
Yeah.
And how you carry, and how you carry a child that 9 months affects it.
Yes.
But throughout his
And
life.
then that child can feel that.
Yeah, that's what she just said. Like
That's
how
ridiculous.
you're carrying and you're hearing all of this and you're going through all of this, and your child comes out and it won't stop crying, or it has autism, or it has whatever.
My girlfriend got married at like 19, and she made it look so fly that like they had a house, all the events was at their house, they had white carpet at their house. I think she was like 19 or something like that. She got married, and ever since then she just knocked it out the box for me. Being afraid to get married at a young age, her husband, you saw them build together.
And yours is not even traditional marriage. I think if I'm right, it's just the idea that in front of God and in front of our family, we're pledging to be together.
I think whatever you believe in, that's what you should do. Like, so if you believe in Caesar and all of that, and you believe in paper and paperwork, then yes, go down to City Hall and get your paperwork.
Right.
But if you are like, just say if you have an Islamic wedding, where it's, you do the document, you do the contract, you have the imam come and y'all do that, then let that be it. But let it be a marriage. Don't be nobody's girlfriend for years. No, don't be nobody's girlfriend for years.
Well, Islamic is a little different.
Take it up with your God. That's all I'm gonna say.
Excuse me.
Islamic marriage is a little different. Like they have to. The female actually they I wouldn't say a contract, but it's more like a contract. So what it is that before we get married, I tell you all the things that I want, and you have to honor that. So we write it down, we present it. You give me yours, I give you mine. And if we agree, then we get married.
That would have worked in my previous relationship, which is why I was my previous.
Right, but look how it
Because I had too many things I needed her to change before.
Yeah, and if it's that long of a list, she's not the one.
Yeah, but I don't know about the writing. I guess it's more. I guess I could see it writing versus me telling you, you know, but I can't see me giving someone a checklist. These are, I guess if you want to communicate,
In my
then
opinion,
you would.
I don't know enough about the nikah. I don't know enough about the nikah to really talk about it, and I'm going to study it a little more. But you know, I do know I browsed it on the internet.
Yeah.
Like some of the contracts and some of the sample contracts, but I think it makes it a little more realistic. Like I think we have these again. I think going back to our original conversation, Hollywood has dictated to us what marriage should be and what wedding should be. Even going back to the white, and it made me research that. Like when did this start happening with this white and all of that, and how did that become a symbolism, and how the diamond, the engagement ring is a symbolism of love, and we all know that's the De Beers family behind that. It's all marketing. So that's why I say go search your scripture, whatever your scripture is, and see what it is or how you should carry this relationship out.
I do think that part of the issue, and I agree with you, is especially for us as millennials, marriage has been watered down for us. It's not really about the weddings and what it is for Instagram, but as a whole, for us as millennials, it's been watered down. It doesn't really mean any big thing, because there's so many of our parents and our aunts and people that we look up to, they're just playing house. And that's what we were raised on. So
are your people married? The millennials, are your parents and aunts and uncles married?
My mom's divorced.
My mom's
divorced.
My mom's never married.
So look, that's 4 millennials right there, and there's not one consistent. Now my girlfriend's parents have been married since I was born, so that's different. But she's like one, and I mean, you put 10 millennials in a room, that's only going to be the case for 2 of them.
See, my mother was married, and they all had children by the same man. So when I did the dumb thing and had a child out of wedlock, I was embarrassed, I was humiliated, and I was hurt for my daughter that I did not give her. She just texted me the other day, and she saw her birth certificate, and she said, a gift that I'm going to give you, because she knows, like, I'll get depressed for 3 days if I just think about how did I become a baby's mom? Not me, not the great Desi Shelton. And she said, she snapped a picture of her birth certificate, and she said, I promise you your grandchild, the last names on their birth certificates will be the same. So,
awesome.
yeah.
So let me ask you this, ladies, because we touched on a lot of stuff.
Yes.
And that's what the Real Housewives of Philly will be doing. Okay? We will be touching on a lot of stuff.
I wanted to know, is any of this
Y'all gotta have
going to be
guest interrupter.
is any of this going to be on your housewives?
If we're this interesting with you already know what it is on that paper.
Yes.
You already know what's on that script.
This is, and speaking of your thoughts, ladies, just your thoughts, men. Someone had brought it to my attention. This was a while ago, and it had me thinking. I don't know if you ever watched Tommy Sotomayor.
No.
Don't worry about it. He is a YouTube. Well, he blew up. He blew up on YouTube, and he kept popping up on my YouTube. So let me go watch this guy. And when I watched him, I wanted to vomit. And when I watched it again, I wanted to slap him. And about the 10th, 20th time, it was like I did a show. I had to do a show. Actually, I didn't do a show. I did a forum. I had Councilman Curtis Jones. I had a young man from Baltimore. I had a young man from Jersey, and I had two from here. And the topic was the lack of black love in the hood. If you watch Tommy Sotomayor, he rips black people up. He spits y'all out. He has two beautiful children by a black lady, but he dates whites, and he calls y'all every name in the book. Y'all wear these weaves. One lady her son had committed suicide. What happened was, real fast, she said she went upstairs to check on him. She come back down the steps, and he had killed himself. Mm-hmm. So Tommy did a YouTube, and he blamed the mother. And I'm like, yo, did you just do that? He blamed her. He called her fat. He said that the young man that's living with her, who's not the children's father, had no right living there. Okay, I don't know what that came from. And he called her trifling. I'm going to tell you why he called her trifling. Because overhead, he said if you listen, you'll hear the battery. That smoke detector was going off. She was too lazy to put a battery into the smoke detector. Therefore, he could not believe that she went upstairs to check on her son. If she went upstairs, she would have known he had a gun. Again, I'm sitting up here right now, and if you came up them steps and I heard you coming, ain't nothing stopping me from hiding that. You don't know that I got something right here. Right. He blamed her. Mind you now, her son killed himself, took the gun, put it to us, killed her. He called her every name. He does that. He degrades every black woman there is. People send stuff, and pretty much all the people that send him stuff are white people. Because these white people send him money to keep the show going. So he calls y'all every name in the book. So I thought about it, and I really thought about it because he touched on how we're loud and stuff. Prime example, I don't know that lady's name, so she's Caucasian lady walking down the street, South Philly. I just happened to walk by her. She's on her phone. She was like, I don't believe you said, no, you didn't. Oh my God. This is her. It's cool. 2 blocks later. God is my witness. 2 blocks later, I'll get by the black lady. I heard her for 2 blocks. Now me, I don't say much. So what I do is I just look. And I figure if I look, maybe you catch on. So I kept looking. She's loud. I heard her for 2 blocks. For 2 whole blocks. So I did a women's, after this one, I did a women's panel. And the topic was, are we bitter or we just misunderstood? All because of her, because I listened to Tommy and I'm like, he does have some view. It's how he words it. It was how he worded it that I had to get a grip on. I still don't like him. I don't listen to him anymore. His followers fell down, and there was a white man that spit him out like crap. He was like, yo, you coming on our side, but thinking, hey, we like you. We don't like you. We don't like you no more than we like the other ones. Like, yes. But he had a great viewpoint because what he was saying was that how we act, how we conduct ourselves, which was that white Hollywood, how y'all portray us. And I wanted to know, like, your viewpoint, like, when I asked, are y'all going to be putting this in there? Because I think it was, like, really interesting to hear this pop up. Even if it's a stage play, even with Tyler Perry, I don't like the idea he flips into a dress, but the fact that he says, hey, you know, he flips into the dress and he gives us the underlining concept of his storyline, hoping you feed off of it and take it back home and do more than just sit on it, that you do more and regurgitate it back into the black population. I would love to see this regurgitated back into the black population, especially when you're talking about colorism and depression. But Tommy Sotomayor, I think I gave him too much
airplay. Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said.
But I liked what he was. There's some stuff that I liked, I just didn't like how he worded it. And I don't respect any person that degrades their own. We took a trip from that men's forum. I had Umar Johnson. I don't know if you know Dr. Umar. Yeah. I had his father. I didn't know who the guy was. I was just picking people. Umar Johnson's dad came on, and he was saying, hey, you know, we just left Charlottesville when that young lady got hit by that guy who plunged his car and killed that young lady. He was there. So he came on, we were talking about it. He was like, yo, this weekend we going to Shelbyville, Murfreesville, to meet up with the white supremacists. You want to go? I looked at my partner. He was like, yeah, I'll go. I was like, yeah, I'm going. You know, like, cool. He didn't go. I went. So we went. because we wound up changing the day. So we went and we got down there. But anyway, when we get down there, I did a Facebook Live and I was irritated that I'm looking at white people who were standing up there pissed that the white supremacists were there. And I'm like, yo, y'all should be pissed. Y'all should be here with me. Because these white people who were not masked don't like us. But vast majority of the white people that were there, because they didn't like the fact that they were in their city. Not that they didn't like the white supremacists. Mm-hmm. They didn't want them in their city. Mm-hmm. I was pissed that I'm looking at some white people who don't like me, who don't have the mask on. And I literally started looking at them like, yo, that's my doctor, that's my lawyer, that's my dentist, that's my teacher. And I just started looking at these white people who were unmasked, who made it clear they don't like me. They really don't, you know. And here we don't like each other, and we need to stop that. But I like that I got 4 beautiful black women up in here. We got an array of all kinds of colors, and hey, they're just intelligent and everything else. They got it going on. It's popping up in here. I'm just saying. So let me ask you this: how do they reach y'all?
Oh my goodness!
Uh-oh.
I know, right. Here we go with me and social media, right? Here we go on social media. I can tell you that the show is June 9th at the African American Museum. We have 2 shows, one at 5:30 and one at 8 o'clock. Come down, stay for the conversation, and give us some likes, right? Nah, give us some likes.
No, not just physical.
You can follow me at India Marie Cross. I'm on Instagram as India Marie Cross. Follow me. I'll definitely be posting about the Real Housewives of Philly at the African American Museum. And I don't know, Zoe, you have Instagram?
I do have an Instagram.
Uh-oh.
It's Zoe with 2 Y's, XO __.
I love her. Oh my goodness. Zoe with 2 Y's. That's what I'm talking about. We're going to make sure y'all remember her stuff.
And we know I'm not Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or any. No, when they start posting picture of crabs with butter on it, I got off years ago. Yeah, I
do the butter, but
I miss yours, Zoe. I'm slow.
It's okay.
I got yours.
You see me in the bottom. I love it. Read it again. I don't mind. Make sure you get her.
ZOEYYXO __.
Oh, I did XOXO _.
Yeah. What school you go to? You got a lot of X's, didn't you?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, he's such a show off. I was going to get hers, but it's okay since you got it first.
I got both yours.
That's okay.
Both of y'all follow back.
Yeah, I definitely will follow.
Yeah, and make sure you
follow
like
back.
his stuff because you know how important is the
depression.
Right. June the 9th.
I'm supposed to some good pictures now.
Oh, gosh. I'm going to give you half a like. June the 9th.
Yes, African American Museum,
Museum.
7th and Arch Street, 5:30 and 8 o'clock.
How
Come
much are
down there and
tickets?
give us a feedback. I have no clue. Oh, my goodness. So you can tell I'm not the producer on this thing.
We are the
Actors, that is it. But every time you're supposed to take this opportunity and go with it. I have no.
I know the tickets are worth it. How about that?
I like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm glad I told her that.
Yeah. I talked to him today. I think he said there are only like 15 tickets left, and I'm not exaggerating, but I'm not sure. When I was talking to the producer, he said he only had 15. I don't know how much more his partner had.
I'm going to feed off of her and say this one. Regardless how much the tickets are, they're worth it, not only because of the name, because of we're supposed to be supporting black.
Yes.
So isn't this that time where we're black supporting blacks, you know, black doing black businesses?
And come
Philly
see
is
live
the
theater.
Yes.
Come
And
see
Philly-
live theater.
Yeah.
Philly is the city of brotherly love.
Yes, so
And that
come
is
show
what the
some love. It
Camden-
don't have to be your brother.
Yes,
It
that
can
is
be
what
your
the
sister.
Real Housewives of
with the
Philly.
Real Housewives of Philly. Come on now, like,
That's what we're trying to
You
do.
guys cross paths with my man Sterling.
He probably did, but is he on this? Is he part of this?
I'm about to go to his Instagram.
Well, right now we promoting these lovely ladies right here, Real Housewives of Philly, and we heard that it's gonna be some fake raunchiness and some fake pulling out the weaves. I said fake. I ain't gonna do no allegedly because I'm sitting among some proud black women up in here, black brown women up in here. They don't do all that extra stuff. I had to tell my mother what extra is. She said, "What's extra?" I was like, "Oh gosh." It's going to take 2 days, Mama, for me to tell you. I don't do extra. She's like, what's extra? I'm like, oh, God.
And come give us feedback. Come have the conversation.
Come give us some feedback.
Converse with us.
Is there meet and greet?
The conversation.
Oh, wait, there's only 15 tickets left. Where can we get these tickets from?
I don't know.
By the time we
Y'all can call Little.
I got the James up already.
Check the website. It might be on the website.
Yeah, come on, that don't make things all difficult. See, y'all doing, that's what it's called, extra. Be there. Just call the African.
Yes.
Yeah, just call the museum up, ask them, hey, I need to be. Matter of fact, don't even ask. Don't even call. Just be there. Like, just have your money.
No, do call the museum.
Well, they'll take some standing. It's 2 shows, correct?
Yes.
2 shows, no excuse. None. Excuses are not even a part of your. Shouldn't be a part of your vocabulary.
Oh, look at that.
But anyway.
Sigma. Look at
What he find?
He said something.
Oh, shucks. He gonna get these tickets sold. That's what I'm talking about. 5 of them. So let me ask you this question, lady, before we let y'all go. Because I didn't do it last show. My co-host. 2 things. Is there anything y'all want to share that we haven't touched on? And before we leave, that includes you too, I'm asking all of y'all to leave our audience with something positive they can rest their head on. Get to getting. Is that a word? Okay.
The first one. Can I hear the first one?
Please. Is there anything that you want to discuss that we haven't touched on?
Then for me, it's just the necessity in coming out to see the Real Housewives of Philly. It is a necessity. It is a necessity to see live theater. It is a necessity to support black female artists. And the second one was something positive.
Yes.
Recently, like we talked about earlier, we just wrapped our musical, The Hustle, and I lost my voice. Like completely lost my voice. Like I literally had to be put on vocal rest, and this was actually my debut singing role. Like I've never sung in a play, and I took a bunch of lessons with the best singing vocal coach ever, and I had the best composer in the world, Mr. Jamal Dickerson, and they just worked with me, and I lost my voice, and I was in the bathroom crying, just like, God, why would I lose my voice? And this is my first time ever singing in a role, like, and I worked so hard, crying to my sister Nala about it, just crying. I couldn't believe it. And what God revealed to me was that I had been not singing and holding back for years. Like my dad had been pushing me, like, be a musician, and people had told me, like, won't you take some singing lessons? Like, you're not bad. And I had just been holding back. And what God revealed to me was that it's just a sin to do that. Like, it's a sin to sit on your gifts. It's a sin to hold back, and it's a sin not to blossom into your best self, because God sends us all here with a purpose. And if you're holding back on that purpose out of fear or out of comfortability, it's a sin. And at any moment, I can take this gift away from you. So know that and use it. So if it's any, I guess the question I'm posing is, what gifts are you sitting on, and what is your plan of action to use them?
Good question. And good challenge.
I never tell somebody.
China.
Don't get her likes.
I'm just gonna go on. Not to take India's first one, but I think it is important to come out to see Real Housewives of Philly, and uplifting thing. I think it's just important to uplift each other. I feel like a lot of people, I mean, just everyone, this is just a general message, spend so much time putting each other down or judging each other instead of even finding solutions or helping. I mean, constructive criticism is always a great thing, but like it's hard to give someone something or put someone down and not give like even an option or helping them in any way. So I think that's a good message to leave on?
I think, like, one of my, just something positive, one of my favorite quotes and something that always keeps me going is hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And I think that means so much because, you know, you can be talented and you could do nothing with it, you know, and you could be in the lead of the race. But the person that maybe takes, you know, the extra 5 reps to get it down, or, you know, has to do the extra studying or whatever, can pass you, because guess what? That person doesn't care how long it takes them. They're still going to get there. And I think that's like where I am in life now, to really make, you know, to make that decision. And I've made that decision to, you know, not give up and just keep going, no matter hard, you know, how hard things get, just keep it going.
Is that a call? 'Cause, okay.
Oh, we got a call in?
Philly Hott, you on the air? Talk to me. Philly Hott? Don't be there. Tell him, Arthur. Call her for your insurance. Hey, girl, I don't have a car.
Call back if that was a real person.
I know, right?
Yeah, call back.
Please call back. The phone lines are 484-477-6348. Why, the ladies are still here.
I guess my what I want to leave with black women is you are worthy of being a wife. Your children are worthy of them seeing someone wife you. And to the mothers who are like my age, who have daughters, it's time for them to get married. Teach your daughters how to get married. Like we have to show them that how to, I don't want to say seal the deal because it makes it seem like it's slick, but a lot of times in other traditions, we teach our daughters how to get married. And don't be afraid, ladies, to be a woman. Like, it's all right with being a traditional woman. It's all right with being, having your goals and dreams to be a great mother and a great wife. And don't be afraid of that. And you don't have to have some superstars in your eyes and this huge career in order to feel fulfilled. I'm just speaking to that sector that says, you know what, I like being this man's wife. I want to be this man's wife. I do want to build his empire. I do want to do that. I do want to be a mother. It's all right to do that. And be a wife, not a baby's mom. Like my girlfriend Kelly told me years ago, sitting in the salon in her chair, she was talking to somebody else, and it made so much sense to me. She said, oh, I don't want to be your girl. I don't want to be nobody's girlfriend for years. And it made sense to me. And I never wanted to be anybody's girlfriend for years. So in summary, you are a wife, not a baby's mom, not a girlfriend. You are worthy of being a wife. And I don't know if anybody has ever told you that in your life, but Desi P. Shelton has come here today to tell you that.
I'm co-signing that. Because that's what I'm trying to be, a wife. So I'm working on bettering me.
Sign your husband is out there.
God said he is somewhere, and I want to wait. I'm going to wait because when he comes, I want to be truthful and honest and said I waited.
Right.
So as I'm waiting, I am. I had a talk with God. Dad, what was I reading? I was reading. I'm sorry, ladies, but I was reading and I forgot the passage. I forgot what it was. I was just asking, when I'm reading about, back in the days, and I'm like, Dad, there's nothing really to do back then. Now we have TV, we have radio, so they had to be working. And I was, one of the gentlemen had took the people's jewelry and made a god.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, Dad.
And Moses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm trying to figure out, like, how did you, at what point God, because, you got a child that was born, and so I'm asking God, the child that was born in that time, that's all they know was this God. So when you came along and you said, okay, everyone dies, are you making this child go to hell? Because if I raise these girls to believe that the cell phone is God, they're going to worship the phone. Right. So when it's time to die, are they going to... Anyway, I was reading about... Isaiah 55, is it Isaiah 55:11? And was like, his word will not come back void. So I was like, yo, God, like I was looking up like the sky and the clouds were starting to get darker. And I was like, okay, this weekend, I'm seriously, guys, gonna be me and you guys, because this weekend, I'm like, your word is not gonna come back void. So I spoke something to him, and I'm like, it's not gonna come back, because I'm like, okay. And I one of the things was, it was marriage, but it was some other stuff, but I had to let him know that back then, some of them had hardened their heart. And in a split of a moment, I caught on. I had to tell God that, forgive me, because I've noticed that I had been hardening my heart to you. So you're not going to give me some of the things that I want, because I was holding my heart. She said that, you're holding, whoever was holding back. And I'm like, I'm holding it back, but don't worry about it. I'm getting it together. It's like, so you're not going to get a lot of the things, those that believe in God. You're not going to get a lot of the things that you deserve, because you keep holding it. You're supposed to depend, your heart in your heart, and you're not supposed to. You're supposed to let, I'm learning. Because when I say I had everything taken from me, I had everything taken from me. When I say I lost everything that was in my storage, I was able to get about 4 boxes out. And out of those 4 boxes, I had some pictures of my children, and that's all I had. So it's like, ooh, when I tell you everything, I didn't even cry. It was like, okay, I can't even cry. It got to the point I couldn't even cry. But I had to come to the realization that at some point, I literally had to start depending on God. Not calling her up, as I always do, because you know when I get,
Start praying instead of talking and gossiping.
Oh, Rashad, I couldn't do that anymore. I literally had to start calling on God. I'm not trying to do the preaching thing to people. For those that are out there, I need people on Philly Hott to understand I'm not doing that preaching thing. I'm just trying to get you to understand that when I used to ask people to give a word of inspiration, that's what it is. It's supposed to inspire you, enlighten you, and encourage you. So I'm just saying, for those that are out there who are trying to figure out why, this is maybe one of those whys to not harden your heart. So once you start letting some stuff go, a lot of things will start coming your way.
Wow.
So, Mr. Shaw, because I know I owe you an interview, but we're not going to get that interview. But I so appreciate you coming out here. You got to come back here next week, because I got an 8-year-old. She is an 8-year-old reporter. Yes, she didn't turn 9. She's an 8-year-old reporter for Teen for Time magazine. Yes, she is. I'm sitting up here like, yo, we're hanging out with Wendell Smallwood, Eagles quarterback. Is he quarterback? Anyway, he's Eagles. And I'm sitting up here like, why are they escorting her up to him? And then when she got done, I called her over, and her mom comes over, and they told me she's a reporter. She's 8. I'm like, yo. So I had her come on. I interviewed her and everything. She came on. She interviewed somebody for me. So she's coming back here next week. She's going to be interviewing. She's 8 years old and very articulate. Yeah. So you come back and meet her. So I'll put you in that chair. She's going to interview you. But ladies, I appreciate y'all coming out here, because they got 2 shows June the 9th, and I'm telling you, no excuses.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Excuses.
Y'all better come out.
None. Tell me, so what am I going to do? You going to get off your behind. You going to go support these two shows. They got 2 shows. 2 shows.
I'll tell you one thing. I'm actually happy that I came late, because I got a chance to meet these
Yes!
Wow.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Intelligent.
Because otherwise, I'd have been out of here by 5:30.
Oh, yeah. Well, you get here till 5.
I ain't get
But
here.
it's okay. But yeah.
Well, we expect to see you guys. Thank you.
But I appreciate y'all coming on here. I really do. It was so nice meeting you.
Yep.
Listening to, not just hearing, but to hearing how you articulate your words, how you formulate your words, the passion, the drive that you have. Just to watch you two just sit back, and she's just sitting up here like, wow, those are mine. They my girls. I'm like, yes, girl, they all yours. Yes. But I appreciate y'all coming out here. Y'all must come back again, please. And June the 9th, y'all gotta give me a ticket. I need to be there. I need to be up in there.
Be your pass.
And challenge everybody listening. Don't come alone. Bring at least 2 or 3 people.
No,
with
you don't come alone. Come
Oh
on.
yeah, it's always a time out with your girlfriend to see which
Yes.
one are you, which Philly housewife are you.
Yes.
Yeah, challenges up the
Yes.
character.
Come out and look and support.
Come out, yes.
Please, no excuse zone. This is a no excuse zone. June the 9th. If you don't have anything seriously to do, please come out and support these young ladies. And there's more. The rest just didn't come, but please come out and support this, because this is like,
Yeah, the whole drama queen.
Oh,
we had to keep
God.
her locked up.
Yeah.
The whole hot mess. We
They're
said,
really
you ain't-
not,
You
but
are
they're-
not going. Go by.
See you later,
She was
fool.
a whole hot
Living true to the
mess.
But I thank you, ladies, for coming out here.
Thank
Philly
you.
Hot.
Thank you.
Thank
we
you.
got an excellent show coming up next week. Yes, we do. I have my 18-year-old Tiana Simmons coming on. Yep, she's the 8-year-old reporter from Time for Teens magazine. I got Carlos Jones. He has a little magazine out there. I have Nathan Jacobs. He is coming on here. He and his jazz band. So we haven't had a jazz band. We had a guitarist. We had a chef, but never.
Oh, you gotta have the trumpet chicks here. The one that got 2 million views. You have to have the trumpet chicks come
Have
back.
trumpet chicks coming
And have
on
them
here.
live. Have them.
Yeah.
They've been on RTI. They've been on. I don't know where they. Oh,
Yeah,
Lord,
so check us out
following
next
them.
week, phillyhotradio.com. But in the meantime and all up in between time, I gotta